Good morning, everybody. I'm not using ghosts and stuff today because some of you guys are like, Lost World Zone thing too broken. Brr, go back to playing different things. The thing is, I only have 3 decks. So I have a Reshiram deck that's still kind of under construction. I gotta fine tune it a little bit, and then I have Hay Fever. So I'm gonna go back to Hay Fever a little bit as I play this guy by the name of iogilifs. Hands down, the best trading card game match I've ever had in my life. Ever in the history of ever. So, thing is he mulligans, and I get a card, but it's kind of useless because I got a shit ton of energy going on. I draw another energy. I'm like, if I pull Sharon and then I draw more energy, I'm going to be upset. But thankfully, I pull a basic Pokemon, so I'm going to put an energy down one of my countless energies on Virizion. And I'm looking at Sigilyph because I've never seen that card used before. It looks like Reflect lowers my attack's damage by 40, and then his secondary attack does 50 damage unconditionally to any one of my Pokemon. So that is a really cool card to have going on. I might need me a couple of those as opposed to, maybe, I don't know. It would just be cool to run a couple of those in that deck. I don't know, it'd be nice because, damage counters and such, and, picking where you want to attack. But he puts down a Solosis. I have 2 catchers in my hand. He does not know this at the moment, but I do plan on catching this thing out because it only has 30 HP. My Giga Drain will do 30, and I think he P-Com'd to get a Magnemite out because he wants to get his Magnezone going. He is running a Magnezone deck, and those move very quickly thanks to their Poke Power, so I will explain that when that comes along. But for now, I'm going to put another energy down on Virizion, and I am actually going to go ahead and catch her out that Solosis and kill it off for a quick prize. Now, I'm going to be the first to say that Catcher is a very prevalent theme in that, I use them right now and then I don't get any later. But I really wanted the quick prizes, to try to put some pressure on him, knock out some things whenever I could. The thing is, he can use Reflect now, but I don't want him using that. He can use Telekinesis to knock out one of my Pokemon as well. I was kind of thinking he would attack my lead just so I would stop attacking stuff because, I have plenty of things out. But, yeah, I'm kind of curious as to one I want to kill off. I'm thinking right now I want to kill off Sigilyph. I'm going to take the bait regardless. So I can attack something since, he hasn't used Reflect and my damage output will be at its fullest. So I choose to kill it off now and take my second prize really early on in the game. So I get an early lead, but the thing is that he evolves it into a Magnezone, which has Magnetic Draw and Lost Burn. Magnetic Draw works if you have less than 6 cards in your hand. Once during your turn, you may draw until you have 6, which is a damn good ability. So he gets a shit ton of basics first off. And also Lost Burn works in that you put energy from your attached to any of your Pokemon into the Lost Zone. You do 50 damage for each one. You do hell of a card to have. I'm completely unfamiliar with that card. All it really lets him do is it lets him look at his prize cards to see if he has anything. But he's just going to catch her out something, I believe, just for the sake of getting an easy kill. Or, just having it out. I don't think he even attacks me, to be honest. He's just trying to stall for time. But right now, I think I make a little bit of a mistake in that I'm going to go ahead and retreat out. And I evolve Hoppip into Skiploom. I Pokemon Communication out this Hoppip for a Jumpluff instead of a Sunflora. I will be the first to recognize that that was a huge mistake. But not to worry too much, guys, because I do get a... I think a Pokemon Communication in the upcoming turns anyway, but run a little low on energy in my hand, so I might as well use Interviewer's Questions, get some of those going again. I don't really have any way to shuffle it. What I should have done also as well, thinking back on it, and that would have kept my tempo going a little bit quicker, I should have just P-Com'd out for the Jumpluff and then Rare Candied it. And I don't know, that would have been a hell of a lot better, because if he has any catchers, he can draw this thing out while it's setting up. But I catch her at the Zekrom because I don't want that Magnezone hitting me, and he doesn't have any energy on it. And I'm going to hit it with a Giga Drain first, so he has his little damage counters on him for Outrage. And then he'll need a double colorless to either retreat. Otherwise, I will take him out next turn with the Sacred Sword for my third prize. So I am at an early lead, but he's getting set up more than I am, and that is still a little bit threatening to me. So kind of waiting to see what he's going to do. I don't know, just the whole Zekrom Magnezone deck is really threatening to me. I was scared that he was going to have Pachirisu in this deck to work with Lost Burn, but he doesn't, or he just chose not to P Comet out for whatever reason. And I was thinking the whole time, if he's running Magnezone, you better be running Pachirisu for that reason. Because when you play it down from your hand, you get to put 2 electric energies on it immediately, which do not count towards your energy attachment for that turn. So if you have a free space on your bench, then you can do like fucking 100 damage right off the bat. But he's actually going to go ahead and junk arm 2 cards out of his hand to get another catcher out. And he's really just trying to burn out the energy in my hand, which is, you know, he's stalling. That works out for him. He brings out my Sunkern. I think I pull my communication on this turn, so what I'm actually going to do is, well, I'm going to put an energy down on the Sunkern to get it out of the lead spot. I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do. I want to put it on Skiploom, but I need to get my Sunflower done. So communication out that Jumpluff, you know, to make up for last turn's error, and then I can use Sunflower's error to, not Sunflower's error, Sunflower's ability to pull my my Jumpluff at that point. So I also take a quick glance, not necessarily now, but later, and I see that I only have one of my Sunfloras, and I think the second one happened to be one of my last few prize cards. It was really to the point where it wasn't worth it. I'm looking at it. I don't have it, so as much as I want to get that second one set up, I got to go with Jumpluffs. I got to get Jumpluffs going as quick as I can. And if he knows the first thing about Jumpluff, he's not going to stock his bench up all the way. But I'm going to retreat that to have Sunflora safe on the bench and just go for the kill to claim my 3rd prize there. Which happens to be another energy, which is stupid. But Magnezone is in the building now, and he has 2 energies on him, meaning he can kill me. And Zekrom also has an energy on him, and, you know, Pokemon Collector and such, which will only help out my Jumpluff. So if there can be enough Pokemon on the field to the point where I can Leaf Guard and buffer Lost Burn to an extent, then I can take down this Magnezone with Jumpluff, as hoping he doesn't have a Pachirisu and, you know, gets that energy going. I'm kind of just saying, come at me, take out 2 energies, and then I should be good to go for your attacks for the duration of this time. Seeing as how Jumpluff is the only other thing I can have that can attack with 1 energy, I don't pull shit, so I gotta use Sunflora to pull something manually. I'm thinking, and I kind of want to get a Chikorita going for bulk or another Hoppip. What the fuck do I do? I think I want to get my second Jumpluff going. That would be fantastic, because that way I can just use a rare candy on the second one. But I'm going to Leaf Guard, so Lost Burn only does 20 next turn, you know, stall out for a little bit, and I don't know if Double Colorless counts as 2 towards Lost Burn. But I think he's going to burn both of those off and then do 70 to me, in which case I need to get some Pokemon going down on the bench. I see that he comes out of Reuniclus. Reuniclus is a little bit nasty in that it has the ability Damage Swap. If you guys remember Alakazam from the very first booster set, it is that exact ability, and it proves to be a little bit of trouble for me. So I see a Solosis on the bench, which is like, ooh, if I can get that thing out, I can kill it off with Leaf Guard and just, you know, snipe it. But that involves pulling a catcher first. I do have 4 in this deck, so I'm actually not surprised I'm surprised that I'm not pulling another one too quickly. But I'm going to go for Sunflora's ability to pull my Jumpluff, and since I do have a rare candy in my hand, I might as well do that. I don't think I put Cleffa in this deck. I'm thinking about just, you know, running 1 Cleffa standard in any deck, but the thing is I can't pull it any quicker. So maybe Cleffas and Collectors and things because reasons and whatnot. But I decided to do a hefty amount of damage on his Magnezone. It does not kill it off, but I know he will kill me off next turn with a Lost Burn, because I would need like 20 to 30 more health in order to live that. You know, math fails me at the moment, but kind of just wait and see what he'll do at this point. So I have 3 energies in my hand. I think my Jumpluff is already good to go. He decides to go for Interviewer's Questions. I think I paused it and unpaused it for a little bit, but he gets a shit ton of energy off of that. And I'm like, okay, Magnezone seriously needs to get the fuck out of that spot. Otherwise, I am just going to get bent over right now. This thing is a problem. I can't also let him get set up with Reuniclus as well, because he'll just damage swap those counters off of that and then just keep his thing going. So I need to get set up on the bench or a catcher, something like that. I decided, you know, since I already have my second Jumpluff out, I might as well try to get Chikorita going. There's not really going to be much of a need to redistribute energy. I just want something bulky as hell on my bench that will be able to take 1 or 2 hits. And then provided I have enough energy flow going on, you know, that'll be nice. But I have MC's Chatter because I don't have enough Sharon, so I only draw 2 cards. I decided to put that second Chikorita down just to power up Jumpluff's attack a little bit more. I'm looking to see how much health he has left. And he did put a rescue energy on it, which means that if I attack it, it will go back to his hand. which I don't really have a choice. I just have to go for Leaf Guard, and then that will still give me a prize anyway. Could have been a little bit of a mistake on my behalf thinking about it, but I really just wanted to catcher that thing out so badly. I don't want that thing. I want to stop that Reuniclus before it sets up. So he puts in a Zekrom. Now I can do 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 damage, so I can go for Leaf Guard first, and then I can... Oh, wait, he puts a double colorless and just goes for Outrage. So double colorless just really fucks my shit up, and he's going to go for Professor Elm's Training Method, pull himself an evolution card, which is Duosion, and I think he has a Pokemon Communication, or he has Reuniclus in his hand. So unless I pull a catcher on this turn, there's absolutely nothing I can do, and it will lead to my quick downfall. But I'm going to start building up Virizion since I already have Jumpluff set up. I am, at this point, just, going for a Bayleaf, and then that way I can get Meganium going. Other than that, this is all this deck is about. I kind of wish he had more shit on the bench, but he kind of knows how this thing runs, and that those are the only things he's going to need. If he had more on his bench, he could damage swap to more, but damage swap fucking takes a lot of time. Actually, my math is horrible. I only do 90 damage, which means I have to go for Mass Attack on the next turn, as opposed to Leaf Guard, but he does get that. He gets both of those evolved, and this is important because Magnezone has a fuck ton of health. Now, what that means is that he can redistribute the damage swap counters off of, Zekrom onto Magnezone or onto Reuniclus. Basically, just keep his lead safe, and damage swap takes a little while because, you have to use the ability every time. It says, as often as you like, you may take a counter off. And he's just kind of staring at his hands for a while. Like, okay, now you can finally see him moving if you pay attention to the Zekrom, the little yellow things on the Zekrom. He's putting them on Pokemon, deciding what he wants to do. I was kind of hoping he would only swap off like 3 of them, so his Outrage would still be at a decent amount, and that way I could kill him off with Sacred Sword. But no, he makes the very smart play and swaps them all off, obviously. I was really hoping that I'd be able to push the limit even more, and that he wouldn't be able to swap off too many next turn. I do have a little bit of a prize lead, but I can't afford to screw up too much, so... he swaps him off into Magnezone. I'm trying to see how much health Magnezone has at this point now that he's swapped off a bunch of stuff. And the thing is that his Reuniclus has a lot of counters on it. He wants to keep that relatively safe. So looking at it, his Magnezone has 5 counters on it, and his Reuniclus has 4 counters on it. So he's going to take me out with an Outrage, claim his 3rd prize, as I believe I send in my Jumpluff just to go for the Leaf Guard, I think. I think I go for the Leaf Guard. That would be pretty smart. But I get a Bayleaf and a Meganium going, and then I just do that, and then I revive, I believe, my Virizion, and now my bench is good to go. So, well, not necessarily. I mean, my Virizion doesn't have too much energy on it, but I'm going to go for the Leaf Guard and then the Mass Attack. Or actually, why did I think the reason I wanted to go for the Mass Attack is that I knew he could kill me off next turn anyways. But, I want to keep the damage swap pressure going, but he chooses just to attack me right there. Now, this is bad because he's getting his Magnezone set up, and I have no way to stop it, so I'm trying to think about what to do. Prizes are, exactly even. I am going to have to play this really carefully. If I want to win, then I need to take out this Zekrom, and I need to pull a catcher in order to get that Reuniclus out and kill it in one shot while it's low on HP. But because of the amount of damage counters that Zekrom had, I was not able to Giga Drain it. I had to Sacred Sword it in that turn, which I think comes into play next turn, or no, you know what? I have a second Virizion. I think I'm thinking of something else, but at this point, his Magnezone's got enough energy on it, to take me out, and he's actually going to Junk Arm out for a Pokemon Communication in order to pull a basic to put on his bench to have enough damage swap with. Now, this is a problem for me because Magnezone already had a decent amount of damage on it, and when I say that, actually, you know what, it doesn't matter because he already has 2 energies on him. He's going to kill this thing off anyway. Now, the fact that I don't have enough energy in play, I have the Pokemon to redistribute it, but not enough energy in play, it will actually come back to bite me in the ass. I don't know if I should have used that interview's question sooner, or if I had it sooner. I wasn't exactly paying attention. But putting down an energy every turn whenever you can with this deck is important, and I failed to realize that. So he's just damage swapping shit at this point, and if I had more energy, I could put more on Virizion and keep the offensive pressure going for a little bit more, because that is like one of my last lines of defense for this deck. Now, the strategy I have at this point is if I can pull a Junk Arm, then I will gladly discard everything in my hand to get a catcher, to get that Reuniclus out and take it for my last prize. Since Reuniclus has a retreat cost of 2, I'm kind of hoping that he won't have anything to deal with it. So Kind of waiting to see what he's going to do. He lost burns 2, and just going to take me out. So he has plenty of damage counters on Zekrom and stuff like that. Now, the fact that my Virizion has 1 energy and not 2 on it, Reuniclus has 5 damage counters on it and not 6. I have to go for the Professor Oak here because interviews questions will not get me anything. I do get 2 energies, and I do get a Junk Arm, which is not a catcher, but it's the next best thing because it means that I can get a catcher. So I'm doing pretty good here. Well, in the sense that I can get what I desperately needed. So Reuniclus has 4 damage counters on it, meaning that I have to go for the Sacred Sword, which I do not have enough energy for. So what I'm under the impression that I need to do is, Junk Arm out Chikorita and Hoppip in order to get a catcher. And I'm gonna get that thing stuck, and then hopefully if it stays in for 2 turns, provided he doesn't have a double colorless in his hand or anything like that, then I can take it out for the win. Or I could go out to Zekrom, either would die to a Giga Drain Sacred Sword combo. But because of that, I don't end up killing off his Reuniclus. And then it turns out that he actually has a Switch in his hand. I don't know when he's going to use it, but he has a Switch, meaning he gets that thing out for free, puts another energy down on Magnezone, and is able to take me out for the very narrow 1-0 win. If he did not have the Switch in his hand, then I would have won that one. But for those of you that say, I don't lose often enough, because every time I lose, it never turns out like this. It never turns out to be this lengthy, drawn out, super awesome match. They just kind of suck. So other than that, this is probably one of the best TCGO games I've had in a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, you're welcome to leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. And that will do it out of me for today's TCGO. I have a battle video coming up later. Possible Penumbra episode, not 100% on that. But, lots of content for now. We'll see how long that keeps us going. But for now, I will see you guys later.